Welcome to Fast Effect, Double Speed Magic the Gathering, now remote through webcam, hosted at ELD's Time Vault Games in Bellingham, Mass. And we've got a Wasteland from Dan Weissman taking out Matt Orfanello's Tropical Island. Matt responds with a Brainstorm. We will be improving this setup in the coming days, but we are running out of stock footage, and this is a solution that could definitely work, or is very likely to work. Prismatic Vista is fetching. Currently just pulling from Discord into OBS for those familiar with recording like this online. Could certainly use some technical expertise if anybody can share it. Considering buying a better, like a gaming rig to better handle all the video processing. Really want this to be the best experience for you guys possible. Misty Rainforest. And now a Baleful Strix being cast off of Tropical Island in a basic swamp. Misty Rainforest fetches for Volcanic Island. And now a Dreadhorde Arcanist. Now nothing yet in the graveyard. Dan's going to be hoping for some type of burn spell, so he can actually start getting value out of this Dreadhorde Arcanist. He may not flash back a bolt right away if he gets it. Ooh, an Oko being ran out there. Daze potentially going to stop it. Oh, and it does. Big play there. Daze really saving the day. That Oko would have just completely changed the dynamic of that board. Wasteland goes after another land. And Dreadhorde cannot attack here and trade with the Baleful Strix. Simply not good enough. Too much value to be considered otherwise. Arkham's Astrolabe resolves, and the turn is passed. Volcanic Island allows for a young Pyromancer, and that's actually a pretty good answer to Baleful Strix. Abrupt Decay takes down the young Pyromancer before it can start making those 1/1 tokens. And now a Euro draws a card, goes to the bin, gains some life. Threatens to come back the next turn. He's got that Astrolabe. Lightning Bolt takes out the Dreadhorde, the Baleful Strix, and now flashing back a cantrip. I don't actually recall when a cantrip was played there on Dan's side of the board. I think he might just be playing it out of hand. That makes sense because he's got 2 mana tapped. So he's not flashing it back. The Lightning Bolt. I just don't see the cantrip in the graveyard. Three mana Oko. Force of Will. And another Oko stopped. Brainstorm now. Dreadhorde flashes back the Brainstorm. And the fetch land shuffles away those 2 worst cards. Dreadhorde, such a tremendous card in Blue-Red Delver, really reinvigorating the archetype. Didn't seem like there was much reason to play Blue-Red Delver other than budget for a while. Just so tempting to go into those third colors, but I mean, Blue-Red Delver just makes excellent use of Dreadhorde Arcanist in a way that the other Delver decks don't typically manage to do, as they're pulled in too many different directions. Blue-Red Delver just tends to have a little bit cleaner of lines of tapped out hard cast. Force of Will gets dazed. And now Brainstorm. Make sure that this Delver will flip. Revealing a Brainstorm. Draws the Brainstorm for turn. And now a Young Pyromancer. And it may be time for Euro. Token comes in. Even just the gaining 3 life per attack step would be absolutely massive. There he is, escaping 5 cards. And there's a Force. And that might push this game out of reach. I don't know if he actually got the token for that. There's a Lightning Bolt. Sending with the whole team, flashing back the bolt. And that is lethal. As game number 1 goes to Dan with this Blue-Red Delver. Versus a kind of mid-rangey Euro. So what did we see here? We saw Baleful Strix, we saw Euro, we saw Oko, Arkham's Astrolabe, Force of Will, a good boy in the background there, 2 good boys. Roaring 7. Leading out with a Polluted Delta into Snow-Covered Island. Wasteland was very damaging last game, particularly enabling Oko to be stopped with a Daze and then later with a Force of Will. Oko resolving that game would have been a very different situation. Ponder off of a perhaps Invasion or Odyssey era island. Can't quite make out that art from here. Ponder, post land drop, ensuring that it doesn't have a good target for days, as Dan put it to good use last game. Very likely just kind of snag anything he can with it this game. Though it does punish the top end of the curve as well. That's one of those things, like, Days can be really good at making sure that you trade 1 for 1 early with some tempo. But on the other side, you can kind of cut off the top of your opponent's curve of cards like Jace the Mind Sculptor or even a Euro. Much scarier when it's coming down on turn 4 compared to waiting till turn 5 or 6. And also kind of flooding out with extra lands in order to pay for it. A lot of time decks don't actually want all those extra lands, and they'll be using Brainstorm aggressively to try and smooth things out and make sure they keep a handful of gas compared to just kind of running out of resources as you make a land drop every turn and don't draw additional cards. You will eventually end up without any cards left. Young Pyromancer. And if this Dreadhorde Arcanist gets to turn, yeah, we got some value being created here. A Baleful Strix flashes in response to the Ponder. And floating a blue... No. Let's see what he does here. Just going to let the Strix resolve, and now Ponder's also going to resolve. Only 1 blue mana available, so this Ice Fang likely to take down this Dreadhorde. Really a glorious life for an Ice Fang Coatl to be able to draw a card and kill a Dreadhorde. Totally fine. It was a good life for that Winged Snake. We've got another Ponder. Now Young Pyromancer becomes more the issue. Now that the card advantage has been handled, it's a matter of trying to set a decent clock. Euro could come down here just to get an extra land drop. We've got a card draw off of Astrolabe and a Ponder. Polluted Delta. Fetches, and that is all. So just keeping that mana open. Whole lot of basic lands. This Wasteland, 0 targets. All snow covereds. Brainstorm adding another spirit. And it'll be a question as to whether or not to attack with the Young Pyromancer. He does. And you know what? Victory favors the bold. An Icefang Coatl would have been a pretty ugly turn of events there, but missing out on potentially tons of damage by holding back that Young Pyromancer could also be an error. 3 life gained as Euro allows for no extra land to be put into play, and then that's a clear signal to daze this Gilded Goose. And now a Lightning Bolt upstairs undoes the 3 life from Euro. But he's going to be coming down the next turn. Unless Dan has a counterspell, that Euro could really undo a lot of the good work that he's got going here. Euro can gain 3 life. And then every attack step gain 3 life as well. Depending on the life totals here, becomes a very interesting race. We'll work to get life totals on screen for the upcoming videos. Ooh, Aluren. Hello, we hadn't seen that game number 1. Force of Will. Getting a token. And now a Cauldron Familiar, I think it is. Combo piece for Aluren. Turned Chump Blocker. And that is gonna do it. So, Blue-Red Delver taking down this new brew of Aluren. I'll be interested to see exactly what's going on with that build. Euro is very interesting in that, as he only costs 3 mana and can draw your whole deck with Cavern Harpy as well. So it's going to be interesting to see that deck evolve. That is all for this one, but don't worry, there is a lot more. You can check out our older videos, and we're always putting out new videos from ELD's Time Vault Games in Bellingham, Massachusetts. If you want to help the channel, of course, you can like, subscribe, share, tap that notification bell so you can know the next time our new videos come out. Thanks for watching.